Okay, so, I didn't quite just get back from, this trip that I went on. For those of you who don't know, I went and did a doubleheader. We did this one night. We went to, Knott's Scary Farm, which is kind of our tradition and the love of our lives. We love everything to do with Knott's. Knott's has been our favorite place to go for our Halloween for years. And we would have continued to just stay going to Knott's every single year. Except that this year, Alice Cooper opened his own maze at Universal Studios Hollywood. So clearly, something had to be done. And by that, what we decided to do, rather foolishly now that I look back on it, we decided we were going to do one night at Knott's, spend the night in a hotel, and then come the next day to Universal Studios. And we were pretty cocky about this, thinking because, well, we do Knott's all the time, and that's fine, we don't really get winded doing Knott's Scary Farm. It's not that bad, it's not that scary. We've kind of become, I guess, desensitized to it a little bit. So we were not prepared at all for Universal Studios. We first were thinking, this is amazing. I mean, pretty much all the ones that we've ever been to have been the same, I guess. Sorry. You go in, they jump out at you, they scream, they have chainsaws. Okay, whatever. Universal Studios is way more intense, and I don't know why that really kind of surprised us, because clearly they have a bigger budget. They have more room to work around, I think. And the other thing was, Knott's is pretty much level terrain. Universal Studios was built on a freaking mountain. And we didn't really think about that. It's not that we're particularly unathletic. Anyone who knows me, knows us. Shani did softball for 1,000 years. I'm a dancer, sort of. Used to dance. So we don't get winded very easily. Universal Studios is something else, and I don't think we'll ever do a double header again. We're getting too old for this shit. So anyways, we'll give you a little bit of what happened, and let me just go ahead and say right now, I did record a lot. I recorded a lot of stuff, and looking at, I think I'm only going to get maybe a few minutes of footage out of what I took, because I'm basically working with subpar technology here, so you're going to have to bear with me. Don't worry, Carly, I got a few pictures of your doctor that actually came out, which was shocking to me. You're just going to have to give me some time to go through all of my footage, because I still haven't yet. Going through everything that I took at Knott's Berry Farm with everything that I took at Universal Studios is going to take me days. If I had it my way, I would not work and I would not sleep. And I would just look at all the video I took, but I gotta do that sometime. So, okay. Let me tell you a little bit about how our night went. The very first thing we did was, after we were rushed by the thousands of fucking monsters that chased us into the park, pretty much. Because, I don't know, they had this big ceremony thing, which, that's standard fare. There's a ceremony that opens up Knott's every year, so we were like, okay. Then, all of a sudden, the crowd of 100 people, I mean, they had us packed in like sardines, so there were a couple hundred people packed into this little plaza, and then all of a sudden, there's clowns with chainsaws everywhere, and they're like sending them through you, and there's like nowhere for you really to go without running into a clown with a fucking chainsaw. And so somehow we managed to fight our way through the fucking panic and chaos that created. And we took a wrong turn into a place called Zombieville. which, if you can't guess by the name, is filled with zombies. And lots of them, and by this point, we kind of, the clowns were keeping most people busy, so we were the first people to walk through Zombieland, because we were just kind of like, you know, so far this isn't anything special. Except, you know, there's way more monsters at Universal. And you cannot walk 2 feet without getting accosted here. And especially, it seems like really early on in the night, because as the night wore on a little bit, it seemed like they got tired. Maybe. But right at first, they were everywhere, and they were in your face, and it's all over the place, and it was something else. So we took a wrong turn, looking for the Alice Cooper maze, because I made the mistake of thinking that the park was built linearly, you know, so I saw all the way in the back of the amusement park, and of course, you know, the Alice Cooper maze can't be someplace easy to find. It had to be way in the fucking back of the goddamn studio lot, and you know, whatever. I'll tell you about how we found it eventually. We ended up, like, just trying to go straight to it, and you can't do that. We ended up getting stopped by security, because apparently we were actually heading outside of the park. And he was like, you know, what are you looking for? And I was like, well, we're looking for the Alice Cooper maze. So he's like, oh, what you need to do is you need to make a complete U-turn, go back this way, go down all of the escalators, and sorry, you know, go down all of the escalators, and then you're going to go over here by the Jurassic Park ride. And you're like, oh my god, it's so much worse than we thought. So, get to the back, you know, come to discover there's like 4 fucking flights of escalators that we have to go down. And it wasn't so bad, it took forever to get all the way down to the base of the mountain where this maze ended up being. So, you know, sit there, and it was actually kind of cute, because the whole escalator ride, they had Alice on. And he was doing the safety, you know, safety guidelines, you know, stand, don't sit on the escalators, it's going down, hold on to the railings, you know. And then, like, after he did a safety announcement, they'd play one of the songs from Welcome to My Nightmare. So on the way down, we were like sitting there, and I was like, oh my god, they're playing What Baby Wants, and I'm like dancing. I'm sure he's just standing there embarrassed because she hasn't listened to the whole album yet, or whatever. I don't care, whatever. I'll gladly make a fool of myself to Alice Cooper. You play that anywhere. I don't care. So get all the way down there, and we just, by sheer luck, ended up being the first people of the night to go through the Alice Cooper maze. Despite getting lost, you know. And I really wish that my footage from the first time through the maze came out. It didn't. I just saw it. But that's okay, because I went 5 times. So the first time through, you know, like I said, we were the first ones, and we got so lost. Because, you know, it's kind of hard to go through a maze when, you know, there's no group in front of you and there's no group behind you. So, no, you know, for some reason we ended up completely alone in this maze, surrounded by all of these strange Alice Cooper lookalikes. I was in heaven. Cherise got really freaked out, and I'll tell you why in a second. So it was just kind of funny. We were accosted by many Alice Coopers. And yes, we ran into Doctor. When we first saw him coming out, I wish, oh God, I swear, I wish that this had come out. Because when we first saw Doctor, he was hanging over in front of the asylum. He was kind of doing this kind of weird, kind of sad, sobbing thing. He looks so sad and acting like he's stuck and caught or something, acting like he was caught on something and like trying to get away and doing this weird thing, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna come over here and he's gonna like he's gonna stab us or something. Then he comes over and he's and we were like, ah. And I was like, hi. And you know what? All of the actors in this pretty much are cute. And we walked in and Nurse Rosetta comes down to, oh, hello, I'm Nurse Rosetta. So we get the pretty shot, I guess. And it was funny because then, like, just, so I guess the first part of the maze, we were doing pretty good. We were doing pretty awesome. And then we get to the Black Widow room, and we got so fucking lost. Because, all throughout the maze, there were like these clear plastic things that were draped over where you were supposed to go. And then there were black plastic thingies draped over where you were not supposed to go. And it was like this throughout the whole maze. So I just kept, okay, well, we'll just keep going through all these white plastic thingies. Come to the end, and all of the thingies are black. And I was like, oh, this is a... I'm sitting there going, no, this is the fucking dead end. Where the hell are we supposed to go? And, of course, this is right, while we're in the Black Widow room. And, I don't know, if you've been watching any of the videos on YouTube, but the Black Widow room, there's a giant fucking Black Widow, and it, comes out at you, in, like, a 30-second interval. Every 30 seconds it comes out and tries to grab you. Like, acts like it's sleeping, and then all of a sudden it's in your face. And so, we weren't really expecting that, and so me and Charisse ended up getting caught there for a really long time. And where do we go? Because there's like a whole bunch of like black plastic door places, and we're like, what now? And so I ended up standing there for a really long time, and the longer we stood there, the more freaked out Charisse was getting, because she has a spider phobia. And she was like getting consecutively more freaked out. Finally, there's an Alice Cooper character behind us with a chainsaw. And he's like trying to I don't know, he's like revving his motor at us, and I just turned around and I was like, hey, where did we go? And he just kind of pointed out where we were supposed to go, and I didn't believe him. I was like standing there, so I'm trying to figure this out, and Charisse is getting more freaked out. And finally, I just took a chance. I was like, someone will correct me, if I get it wrong. Apparently, I picked the right door. And I got out, and everything was fine. Charisse was freaked out and didn't want to ever go on that maze ever again. But I did drag her on there 3 more times. I know I'm the best friend ever. Because after, I went back on immediately by myself, and she decided to go on the mummy ride. So, like I said, we ended up going on that one. I went 5 times. She went 4 times. And by the last time, all of the monsters knew us. And they were like hounding up on us. Oh, wow, welcome back! Rawr! So it was funny. We actually got stopped by a couple of people going, how many times is this for you now? I was like, many times, and we will be back again and again and again. Oh, the things we do for Alice Cooper. So, yeah, it was a good time. We did do some other things, surprisingly. I didn't have as much fun in those things as I did in Alice Cooper movies. Just because it's so cute. Alice is such a dreamboat. So yeah, I think basically that's my summary for the night. if you ever want to do the Universal Horror Night, work out a lot. Keep in mind that it's on a fucking mountain. You know, and I don't know, I hope they bring Dallas Cooper Maze back next year. It was the best one, really. Probably one of the longest, you know, consider, well, except for the tram, the Terror Tram, but the Terror Tram was lame because it was all about Ghostface, and I hate Ghostface. He's the most boring serial killer ever. Let's see, what was entertaining? I liked La Llorona. I mean, it wasn't really scary, it was kind of hot. Oh yeah, we did the Rob Zombie 3D thing. It was good. I kind of liked it. It reminded me a little bit more of a Knott's Maze, though, so it didn't really... Well, I don't know. It did have, like, better production quality, but it reminded me an awful lot of, like, being at Knott's. So, so there you go, I guess. That's my summary of the night. It took 16 minutes. So I enjoy watching 16 minutes of me ramble on with my giant frizzy hair that it will never go down ever again for as long as I live. Because of 2 nights at frickin' amusement parks. I'll be glad to take a vacation from my vacation. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.